If I look tired, I want you to know it's because I am tired. Welcome back to episode 2 of For Portfolio Purposes Only. So, what you saw in the last episode was basically my prep work, my planning, my ideas behind what I want to shoot. This time, I'm walking you through the process of how I did such things. Now, I was up until 1 a.m. I didn't think that making myself the client would actually be difficult, but I had to keep in mind so many things. I always find that if I'm shooting photography and videography at the same time for a client or for myself, video kind of helps me get into the right mindset of creativity, because with video, I can just put the camera on and kind of play with things and see what works. Because ultimately, branding and marketing, you're playing into your client's strengths. You don't want to change who your client is. You don't want to change who they are. You don't want to change their why and what they stand for. You want to play into it. So every visual that I took played into who I am, the aesthetic that I have on my Instagram, and what I do. With the words, the idea behind the words is going to be more of how can I play into being a little cheeky, but still having meaning and reverence to what Tea Time with Sabi is. For me, it's an experience. It's sitting down with my audience and connecting to them even though they're not in front of me, and just giving them some advice. But the advice I always give them is always something that kind of hits home to people in a way that they don't like, but also that they find a little entertaining and kind of makes it a little bit easier to digest. And then when it comes to editing the photos and editing the compilation of how I'm going to piece some of the visuals together, I always choose music first. I lay down the visuals and then I go from there. And then when it goes with editing my photos and color grading, same thing. I keep true to my tones and I kind of mess around and play with how I already have, like the look and the coloring I already have. The importance behind the marketing that I do is because it's very intuitive and it's not by the book, and it's just going along with what I intuitively feel my client might need to attract the right clients, to attract the right people to their platform or their brand for more customers. I had to take that same approach with me. And the bottom line is, at the end of this, is marketing as art is always going to be felt instead of seen. So I'm relying on the words, how I piece together my visuals and the music to create a feeling for my audience, not a transaction. So now that I've walked you through a little bit of my process and how I go about things, stay tuned for the next episode for the final reveal.